It's Tom Watts for Radio Express. We are live at Radio Days here in Athens in Greece, and I'm so excited for this next conversation. You might have seen Tiny Desk from NPR on your social feeds. Well, the man behind it is with us right now, Bobby Carter.
What's up, man?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me over here.
You are fresh from your session
Yes.
at Radio Days.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was really, I talked to Des after. I was like, we could have done this for like another hour. There aren't many things I can talk about for hours, but music and what we're doing is just something that I love. So now I thought it went great.
Yeah, I mean, I caught the beginning of it. I had to dash out for a
You're
chat.
a busy man.
But yeah. Okay, I feel like I'm talking to the minority here, but for anyone that is not familiar with Tiny Desk, just take us through the concept of it.
Yeah, certainly. So Tiny Desk concerts are small, intimate, live performances in the office of NPR headquarters in Washington, D.C. 3 or 4 song set, stripped down. Like I said, the key is intimate. And yeah, we've been doing it now for 16 years. And it's blown up into quite the thing nowadays. Yeah.
And it's your full-time job working on this.
Yes, that's my
content
gig.
stream, right?
That's the gig.
But you've worked at NPR and in the audio industry for a long, long time.
Yes.
Which you must have seen a huge change over that time, right?
Huge shift, man. Yeah. I started out as an intern at NPR back in the year 2000. So this is year 25 for me. And this predated NPR music. This is before a Tiny Desk. The internet was just fresh. I think YouTube was around for just a handful of years.
Yeah.
So just to see the way that people consume music nowadays it's kind of mind-blowing. And the thing that I love about what we're able to do, as opposed to a lot of other different platforms, is that we focus on the quality of the music. We spend a lot of time making sure that the audio sounds incredible, that it looks good. So we take our time with it, and I think that's really, really important, especially for young people to know that, hey, sure, you can whip something together real quickly on TikTok for a big explosion, but you can also do it the intimate way and do it the way we do it and slow cook it and make it special that way too.
I think it's like there's such a demand for more content. Like we want stuff now, immediately, more.
Yeah.
That, as you say, like the quality of it sometimes does fall by the wayside.
Yes.
But it's so important. It bugs me so much when you hear something that's not good quality.
Yes. It drives me crazy. As someone who's been in radio for so long, I think for me it's like, hey, I get it. I get the TikTok generation and I respect it because it's created a lot of wonderful careers, discovered a lot of new music there. But again, like, we have to remind people that the things that really, really last, you have to put in the time for it. And listen, we feed the beast as well. We shoot 3 shows a week. We put out 3 shows a week. So we have to feed the beast too. But we won't put anything out that we aren't happy with and that the artist isn't happy with.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by, you talked about it in the session, but like, you have the big artists. You know, there was talk about Dua Lipa is your biggest video. But you are breaking new artists. You're introducing audiences, which is a huge audience, to these new artists as well. Which is so important for NPR and Tiny Desk.
It's the most fulfilling thing at this point, right? Because we understand the impact that Tiny Desk is having on artists' careers, on established careers.
It's a moment for them in their journey, right?
It's definitely a touch point and a milestone in their career at this point, and that's great. We're able to do that. But I always say, for every Dua Lipa we'll have a Catrielli Paco, we'll have a Saya Gray, we have these artists that you may not have heard of who can be just as special from a musical standpoint. So I think that for me, as someone who's been doing this for a very long time, the thing that I get the most fulfillment out of is helping create moments. You know, we do this thing called the Tiny Desk Contest, where we allow unsigned artists to submit a video to us, and the winner gets to come and play the real Tiny Desk.
Nice.
And we take them on tour, and we want to help start a career. Tank and the Bangers got their start with the Tiny Desk Contest, and we want to help, spark a flame and really create and help start a career.
I feel like at this point, because of the numbers and the attention to detail and the quality of the output that you always deliver, you could have anyone you wanted performing the Tiny Desk. Is there anyone that has eluded you so far? Go on.
Yeah, I wish we could have anyone we want. I don't know if I would even still be doing this. So luckily, there's still the thrill of the chase for me.
All right, nice.
So many. Stevie Wonder, Bruce Springsteen, D'Angelo.
Yeah. Okay.
You name. There's so many artists. Claro, who had a great moment last year. McGee, who I've been trying to get for a long time. We haven't had these artists yet. So the thrill of the chase the thrill of the hunt is still in effect over at the Tiny Desk. We all, myself and my colleagues too, we all have ones that we're chasing down that we haven't quite nailed yet. And our pitch, the way we pitch and the way I have to plead sometimes and say, look, this will be great for your career. It's great, you know.
What's the biggest challenge of securing that session, that recording date? Is it schedules? I guess it's different.
Schedules are a factor, but then it's the aesthetic, right? There are some artists who may think that the way we film and our format may not help. It may not be conducive to the way they're used to performing, you know, because we're very, very stripped down. It's very stripped down. What you see is what you get. It's a real office. You know what I mean?
This sort of blew my. I knew that was the case, but when in the talk that you just gave, part of me still sort of thought like, it's just a set.
You wouldn't be the only one. Yeah,
right?
a lot of people think, a lot of artists, you know, they go into this thinking that it's a soundstage. It is not. And that's the first thing that we let the teams know. Like, look, it's a real office. Don't be upset if you're performing your heart out and someone is over in the corner just working as if you weren't there.
But you keep it down, please.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that, you know, that may not work for all artists, and we got to respect it. It's unconventional, it's unassuming, it's disarming in a lot of ways. We get to just strip down the big superstar stuff and see a lot of these artists as human beings. So no, I think that there's a lot of different factors that come into play where they may not want to do it, and that's fine. I get it.
Yeah, fair. You've got a solid format, obviously, stating the obvious, but where do you want to take it? Like, you talked before we started recording about your love for UK artists.
Oh my God. I was just telling you, man, UK artists, especially like when I think of like hip hop and R&B and just like, you guys eat our lunch. I'll never forget when we had Ezra Collective.
Oh, I love those guys.
Oh my God, man. It's just like, what are they eating, man? It's just like the music is in them, but like, you know, we've never had Jamiroquai. We've never had we've never had Omar. We've never had Sade. There's this new artist that we're gonna have at the desk in a couple months in the R&B space. Her name is Sasha Keeble. I don't know if you're familiar yet.
Yeah. She vocals a lot of like dance music, but her own music is incredible.
God, her voice is just like. So no, I would love to do like a UK, like a British takeover at the desk and just do the whole month, just British artists just come and just show us how to do it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Bobby, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, man.
For your insight. What a joy
this
conversation
fun.
was. I could have spoken to you for about an hour, but I feel like we should maybe wrap it up. In fact, no, I'll ask you two final questions.
Let's do it.
Right. About the general audio sort of landscape. What are you most excited about in general in terms of the audio industry, and what are you most sort of aware of as maybe like a concern or a threat against our beloved industry?
I think that the biggest threat is what we talked about earlier, right? People, you know, especially the younger generation, not really understanding what it takes to put together a quality audio piece. I really hope that, you know, I went to school for broadcast journalism.
Same.
And that's where you learn, like, this takes work. You know what I mean? Attention to detail is very, very important. So I just hope that doesn't get lost.
Yeah.
Because if it does, then we're in trouble in terms of quality. So when you combine that with like the thing, the demand, and like, hey, just get it out, just get it out, just get it out. It's sort of, you know, the loss of, you know, we've lost a lot of engineers at NPR just because of the way we put content out now. I just hope that doesn't get completely lost, because with that, the quality gets lost.
Yeah.
But I'm also excited that, you know, people are looking into analog now. We're selling more vinyl now. Like, that kind of stuff is really, really exciting for me. Like, you know, we have kids coming into the building wanting to learn how to cut tape. You know what I mean? That's how I learned when I first started at NPR. Yeah. I had to learn how to cut tape. And that, there's just like a sound there when the crackle of that vinyl, or when you listen to tape. Yeah. You can't beat that. So I hope that doesn't get lost, and it's really encouraging to see like analog. People are still interested in the way people consume the analog sound. Yeah.
Bobby, thank you so much.
Thank you,
on
Tom.
doing what you're doing, inspiring future generations, sharing that love and that passion. We can keep it alive.
Well,
right?
thank you, man. Thank you for showing the love. Like I said, we're in our little bubble at the Tiny Desk, and sometimes we don't understand our global reach. So I can't wait to go back to my team and just tell them just how much people love what we're doing.
Bobby Carter from Tiny Desk, AM, NPR. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Keep tuned to the stream. We'll have more conversations for you real soon.